Hello and welcome to another episode of Anime Explained, and today I'm going to take a closer look at a German thing in anime and explain it to you. For as you have probably guessed it, I'm indeed German, like German, and not Austrian. But before we take a look at today's German name, let me quickly thank my Patreons for supporting this channel, as well as say thanks to all users of the YouTube thanks function for making one-time donations. And with that said, let's dive into today's topic, which is the name of the accursed sword, handed out by an equally accursed goddess with terrible luck and even a more terrible personality to an unsuspecting Japanese high schooler. This defected item was indeed one of many cheat items the goddess of party tricks had offered to any freshly dead high schooler before sending him to a dangerous new world in order to either die again or slay the Demon King. And since the Demon King was alive and well when Kazuma arrived, and dragged Aqua with him, you can guess that the world, even with a proper cheat item, rather than having just an improper goddess, wasn't as great as the water goddess Aqua had indeed promised. And I have to stress this again, the world of Konosuba is quite dangerous. Life is more often than not cut short by disease, starvation, or just good old-fashioned monsters. And while Aqua could dispense resurrection magic left and right, normal priests could just perform this miracle once in a lifetime, if they are incredibly talented and lucky. And once the scam artist of a goddess had actually been displaced by a proper angel, no one in their right mind would dare to venture forth into this new world of Kazuma, since it was so very dangerous that indeed even with a proper cheat item, not a single other recently would-be isekai protagonist entered this world willingly. And this finally brings us back to the accursed sword Gram, and what the name even means. The German term Gram describes a deep and profound feeling of grief, sadness, and misery. It is also an old-fashioned German word, not used by any young people anymore, so the word Gram is perfect for naming an OP sword in a medieval fantasy world after it. And the implication behind the name is that loved ones of your enemies will feel a great amount of grief and sadness once they crossed blades with you, the wielder of Gram, which is Kyoya Mitsurugi. The sword is also cursed in the sense that only Kyoya is able to wield it. It furthermore can cut basically anything without any effort, so Kyoya could even cut dragons in two with just a single swing of his sword. And Gram is also not the only sword capable of doing this in Konosuba, for Aqua has sent a lot of Japanese guys with false promises of being the hero that was promised down onto the world, so that at least one of them might finally cut down the Demon King. And one of the swords have, spoiler alert, found its way into the possession of the royal family, of the kingdom Kazuma currently resides in, the royal house of Berserk. For the royal family have married their noble daughters to any promising and deserving hero, and therefore have accumulated a lot of heroic blood over the centuries. And their own precious sheath sword is currently wielded by none other than Kazuma's little sister, the royal princess Iris. And with that said, let's get back to the topic at hand and to the mythological origin of the sword, because originally the name Gram did not mean grief, but it was the old Nordic word Gramr, which means grim. And in these old legends, the legendary sword was reforged from the broken sword that Odin himself had placed into an apple tree, and only those who were worthy were allowed to wield it. But Odin give it and Odin take it away, and he shattered the sword all by himself. But the blade was reforged for Siegfried, and he used this reforged blade, now named Gram, to slay a mighty dragon. And that's why the blade was also seen slaying a dragon in Konosuba, So the name is not just any German name, but it actually goes a lot deeper than just having, again, this epic German name. And fun fact, these legendary blades and all of the other legendary sheet items that Aqua was sending out left and right became actually quite a problem, at least in the wrong hands. So at one point in the story, Kazuma had, with the aid of Eris, or rather Chris of course, to steal back some rather important legendary artifacts in order to prevent them from falling into the wrong hands. This is also something that I love about Konosuba, that all of the things that were brought into the story stay in the story and stay relevant, and eventually might cause problems later on. But I digress. And by the way, her full name is actually Iris Stylish Sword Berserk. And by the way, I also originally wanted the videos to be short and quite succinct, and around 3 minutes long at most. And yet I rambled on and on about Konosuba's lore and Aqua being incompetent, except when it comes to tricking young boys into essentially waging a brutal war of annihilation against demonkind itself. So please leave feedback down in the comment section what you think about this idea for another video series. And of course, please also let me know what you think about the video itself. And while you are busy writing comments, I say thank you very much for watching, and special thanks to Ada Daddy Ada, Bad Guy Yi, Bad Burrito 316, Beezer, Ben C, Brandon D, Chrissy, Crowley 0221, Sia, Crystal Prime, Dead Slime, Death is Mercy, Deathless Dragonlord, Demon Xenomorph 1987, Devin Downen, Ding Dong, Dragonlord Placidu Saxophone, Duckwagon, Dunkler Krieger, Dystopia, Dystopia II, Enigmatic Unicorn, Feral Shivan, Guy with That Head, Hector Marino, Hoss, Huster, Jacob G, Jana B, Jason, J. Morris, Chromius, Kyle R, Lee K. Long, Legendarius, Lelouch Britannia Wiffy Mustache, Lexus Vox, Lord Nishikian Rai, Lord Touch Me, Lovewazer, Merovec, Mr. Shoes, Mr. Tweaker, Michael R, Michael Y, Nope, Oh Hell No, Normal Toad, O'Kill, Overlord General Gasper, Paddy Pantom, Personage, Primus 11, Rhinomere, Q&A Caracos P, Shagox's Daddy, Shadow Lightning Wolf, Shrine Keeper, Super Tier Magic Batista Bomb, Supreme Cheese, Staris, Ted, Texas Deer, The Orc Warboss, Rock Ed Smasher, T.E. Wang, Vash Hawkeye, Vegito 27, Venture Fanatic, Wilhelm, Xenukai, and Zonagon. Thanks guys. Anyway, have a nice day, and I hope to see you all again soon on my next video.